I mean, that nearly went seamlessly, but I completely forgot to actually post the link out to say we're alive, so let's just...
This is my favorite podcast we've ever done. Livestream or whatever.
The one where we forget to click on anything or actually share the fact that we're doing it.
It's so good. Shut up, Lloyd. You know it's a good start.
Things in the station chat.
Right, I'm just gonna actually post this into a thing. Oh shit! I need to get the Twitchy thing up over there. This is all going to go really, really well.
Yeah, I can't wait till we go live.
Oh my god, no, the number went up, it's fine.
It's 5 now.
We did actually post it somewhere. Right, but I need to find out where the hell the thing is, so I can see let's see here. Rob, you've got buttons, you deal with the comments.
I'll do buttons and things. Greeno!
Hey! Greeno, Barrett, hello! People, no idea. Let's have a look. Yes. Okay, well, the thing is, I clicked the button to go live, completely forgot to actually post anyway to say that we're going live. It has been a hectic as hell day. So just doing that. Bear with us a second. Where the hell did I put the button?
You know, monkey.
Oh, anyone who's tried to grab it on grab the download off Itch, there was an error on the Waxcloud wallet that is now fixed. So if you make Itch app loader update, it's a stupid name. If you make the itch.io app stream thing update Turis, it should be fine. Do.
And not the reinstall button that I hit 3 times.
Awesome. Right, there we go. Press the buttons. Okay, there we go. Right. That's working. That was an intense few minutes of making other stuff.
I like how your eyes get a little bit of green screen, which makes them sparkle like some ethereal mad shit.
Yeah,
awesome.
I don't know what's going on.
Charlie is actually a cyborg.
I don't know what happened with the lighting today, but everything has gone a little bit more blue than usual. And I if I tried to stop it, everything just came back.
Don't you keep it? It's good luck.
I'll leave it as that.
It just needs more bloom, more post processing.
Right, let's have a look. Okay, so we did a bit of an update. So I'm just prepping that, and we'll see if anyone else wants to turn it, and then we'll click some buttons and stuff. Ben, what are you doing?
Drawing some wizards.
Let's leave Ben's wizard up there while we're just figuring out what the hell's going on.
Yes,
ooh, but I get to show this off to Rob a little bit. Rob, I finished the market scene. Hold on, where are we here? Get the blue out.
Nice.
That's a little bit better.
We're gonna need some more market stalls, aren't we, on the concourse?
Just a little sample of wizard life, hey?
Right, it's done that. Okay, I've nearly finished clicking some links. Doing that there.
I didn't get much time to work this week, so I thought I'd dual wield.
Nice.
Yeah, well, we've been mad busy and all kinds of stuff this week, so it's
just fixing things this week. Isn't it? Everything's
I'm legit. I joke, but I am coming for the updates because I haven't really talked to Charlie about Turis this much this week. So this is my first legit full week of updates myself. I have no idea what you've done this week.
Well, the updates are basically a few tweaks here and there after several days of breaking everything and fixing everything again.
Yeah, I didn't tell you, Rob, because you left to go to create. You sent that pushback.
Yeah, did it break everything? I only pushed like 5 files.
Yeah, but one of them was a Blender file, and I think you've upgraded your version of Blender, and Unity was not happy about it, and I nearly unlinked all of the prefabs.
It's like take a couple of weeks off for Christmas, install a bunch of new stuff, and everything just the first week back is just fixing stuff. It's,
yeah, exactly. Right, okay. So, one thing I would like to try and do on this evening is, as well as doing a little update, and I have pushed this to YouTube this time so we can actually replay it, and I've actually done another thing as well. What have I done? Hey, Bodo.
Well, he's Bodo.
Bodo Comfort. Bodo. Some letters just don't work for me. I can't read them. It makes me all swim. Right, yeah. So one of the things I want to do today is, as well as doing a quick update, because I know Ben, you said you haven't had an update, so this is kind of a personal update for you and anyone else who wants to join us. I would like to have a moment of everyone shutting the hell up so that I can walk through how you log into Turis and pop down to the concourse, so that then we can snip it out, and it's two birds with one stone, have a little mini tutorial, because people have asked, and previously were like, you just log in, it's all fine, just log in. And at that point there was only a bedroom, and now there's 2 bedrooms, and you can put hats on, so that's infinitely more complex.
I got my shoes on.
So, but that does appear to have fixed that Wax Cloud wallet bug, and I'm logged in.
Yeah, I'm in on the Wax.
Okay. Right, I'm
going to play football.
Share. I'm going to close that first, then I shall share it. Right, and that music is still working, it's not too loud. Fantastic. Right, the few people who are with us, you have to bear with us. We are still learning this streaming nonsense, it's a bit weird.
As always, if you've got any questions or ideas or anything you want to say, bung it in the chat, we will answer.
Right, Ben, your wizard is out of there.
Bye, wizard.
Well, first, let's do updatey stuff, because then I'll snip the update bit into a little small segment which we'll put out, and I'll just post it into the update in Discord, because quite frankly, typing that crappy Discord markup is a pain in the ass.
Nobody reads anyway.
It stresses me out every single week. It's like it's trying to find the words and the writing and not spelling it wrong, and So there's 2 main updates, possibly 3 main updates. First one is the Wax Mole had an update. It's had a new engine, a new server, and a new little refresh on the website, and is now running and operational. Anyone that wants to go and check their Wax community score that we are using for our airdrops, you can pop over to waxmole.me, which I shall show how it is now, and Rob can post link in the chat. Yep. Hopefully. Let's have a look. That one.
Waxmole still hates Greeno.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Greeno. We are working on it. It didn't quite get that far this week.
We'll just put an exception.
There we go.
If your name's Greeno, you get good score.
Yeah. There we go. So this is the Waxmole now has a little UI, so you can actually check your own name if you want, and it does the digging, and it better work. Yes, it does work.
That's a good score.
Yeah, so just a little bit of an update on how this works. We like to try and reward people who are active community members, so that can be people who are buying and selling, people who are playing games, transacting, people who are like being active in the community. Now, everyone has more than one wallet for all kinds of stuff. It could be a drop wallet, it could be a mining wallet, should you be mining specifically, possibly with bots on games, because what else do you do on a staking game? And those some of these different wallets, they affect the community, they affect things, especially with giveaways. You don't want someone claiming 25 free giveaways and then sticking them into back of just flipping them onto the market. However, those same people, some people do have main wallets, and other people, some of your wallets are more active than others. So one of the things we want to do is we want to try and give a community score. A community score which is based on a kind of good community activity. So everyone gets a score of 1024 because, you know, we're programmers and we like numbers like that. And basically we have an algorithm which pulls out fingerprints of bad actor, or not bad actor, but kind of bad actor and inactive wallet kind of fingerprints. And for everyone it finds, it takes some points off. So everyone starts with 1024, and it can go down to 0 with the worst kind of wallet. We generally are using it as anything over 500 is good, but everyone is welcome to use this service. There's an API if you want to spin up your own little bot and call it. It's a free service, and yes, I'll get to that in a minute, Bodo. Yeah, so it's a free service. You can go on, you can check wallets. If you want to integrate it into this Discord server, go ahead. We are constantly updating it, and it's up to you how you want to use the score. We're just giving a score of basically a good community member. If you've got wallets which are kind of drone wallets, part of a bot army, they're probably not going to score very high. If you have an old wallet that does nothing and doesn't have anything in it, doesn't transact, it's just generally a bit dead, it's probably not going to score very high. If you're a new wallet who is pretty active in the community, but you might not be a very rich wallet, you're going to score all right. Whales score as good as a good active in the community score as well as anybody, regardless of how wealthy an actor is. We're really trying to not make it something that you can game by just pumping loads of resources into it. There's a lovely esoteric set of algorithms for fingerprints used for that. So anyway, that's Waxmole. Check it out. We'll keep updating it. If you've got any questions, drop us a message and we'll answer them best we can. The second update, I'll do this one first because Bodo's just mentioning about the Android update. Any way to regain points? Yeah, just the activity. Different activity will change your points. To be honest with you, one thing I would say is do not try and get 1024 points. There's really no need. It's not really trying to say, hey, look, this wallet is really bad. It's trying to say, hey, you know, this wallet is this level of interaction based on the fingerprints. I mean, I know your wallet for some reason is still giving you a 405 score. There's kind of some borderline stuff where we're constantly tuning. The kind of the stuff where it's on the cusp is always hardest to catch, and that's kind of where we're trying to fix it.
That's what the
we're tuning it. So there's some new bits rolling out next week and the week after, which I think are going to be pretty good for some of the borderline stuff. So I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah. So the second thing is just replying to Bodo's comment there. This one here. Yes. So update for Android and iOS. It's coming. It's done. It just takes a little bit longer to pass through their networks to pop out on your phone. Sadly, it's just not as quick as pushing it on PC because it uploads straight away and it's there within minutes. Android and Apple, basically, you're at the whims of whatever they want. They say it's a few hours, but sometimes it's like 24, 48 hours. It really depends on how long they process it. But that's not a bad. It's not a bad thing though, because we're in a space which values its security and don't like bad actors on the apps. And the whole point it takes that long is because you send the app off, and those places automatically decompile it and check every bit of your bytecode for bad actor stuff. So it's not a bad thing. I got no problem with it. It just takes a little bit longer. So that'll pop up on Android and iOS. I would say it should be probably by Monday or something. It'll be I'm going to say Monday, Tuesday, just because if I say tomorrow and then Apple screws me, you'll all call me a git. So yeah, we'll leave that.
I will.
Yeah, but it will be updated. However, the PC version, which obviously previously was the WebGL version, is now on itch.io. You can go to itch.io. I would highly recommend downloading the itch.io app, because if you get the app and search for Turis Station and download it via that, it stays automatically updated, which is very useful for when someone like me posts an update out just as he's leaving the office and finds that the Wax Cloud wallet is broken. However, 15 minutes before we came on air, I was like, well, I'm sure I can fix it. And we did. So I've just pushed another update out, and it does appear to have gone out to itch.io. So if you update your copies from there, you should get the fixed WaxCloud wallet. Anchor does also work, but it seemed to already work. The WaxCloud wallet does take a second to show up just because it's stupid web stuff, and oh my goodness, I can't wait for this space to become more transparent in how it logs in and logs out, which maybe we'll have a rant about in a little bit.
Excuse me.
But in the meantime, I'm going to log into here because there has been a couple of changes. Oh, hang on, let's just get rid of that. Right. Hey, Nostalgia Geek, hello, how you doing? Thank you for reporting that bug. I 100% hadn't noticed it because I was mostly using Anchor, and the WaxCloud wallet was working from some cached data I already had, it turns out. But I have pushed an update for that, and that should be fixed. So, on here, this is our new PC client. It's pretty much the same as the Android one, and there is going to be some UI changes to kind of bring things together with a bit more polish. We got some full screen buttons, and we got some closing buttons just because it's the PC one. I'm just going to log in with my thing using my phone because I forgot to install Anchor on here. Bear with me. Hey, there we go. And that's going to lead me to play some loud radio, so I could turn it off. So you can see on here, there's a slight tweak on this new version. When CRT Scanline Shader Mode in the works, it's definitely coming, and also some other stuff, which we will get into in a minute, because this is part of the new update. At the start of this year, we wanted to do a lot of nice quality of life changes. So you can see that the console has had a slightly of an update. It's not finalized. Rob's going to shout at me because I basically bastardized some of his updated graphics and threw them together. He's got another scene where there's a nice finished version of this with extra pullouts. It's a lot prettier. This is me getting it back and functional so I could push the update out. I'm sure it'll be an update will come out soon for it. But basically, we're trying to consolidate the console into an equivalent of like a little personal data device. So the idea is this is the little mini terminal that your Auton always has on it, and uses it to log in and out of things, mooch about the station. Ooh, who's loading the Terry-pin? Someone down on the concourse. Are you down on the concourse? Are you upstairs?
You down the concourse?
Ah, right, yeah. That's fine then, because I can see you. So the console is now an advanced pager, exactly it. Basically, we're going to build as many kind of retro devices into this space as possible now. Any clue what the green button blue? Okay, so anyone in the UK, and I honestly don't know how abroad it went, but anyone in the UK, does anyone remember teletext? Like if you were vaguely around in the 80s and 90s and 2000s, basically the 4 coloured buttons on your remote, and it just looked like the shittiest internet in the world in text mode. It's basically that. So
missing yellow, yeah. I did put 4 buttons on. I got told we only needed 3.
Shut up, Ben. So Internet 2000, exactly. Yeah. So basically, this little console, the idea, the buttons down here are context sensitive, so they're going to change depending on what's in here. And there's a couple of things we've got planned for in here. One is we actually have it in and working, and on the next update it should be out. There's a fully working version of BASIC on there, so you could write little BASIC programs like back in the day in the 80s and 90s, or 80s mostly. So if anyone, especially in Britain, if you remember the BBC computers in schools, everyone was writing BASIC. It was like the language of the 80s. It was the first language I wrote as a kid. So that's there. So people are going to be able to write little programs in there to kind of personalize your, as Nostalgia Geek says, it's kind of like a advanced pager. But also we realized with all the extra stuff that was going on, it was taking up a bit of real estate. And what we really wanted was an on-screen keyboard ready for mobile, and we wanted some other little niceties. So now this can tuck away. Yeah, definitely. So you can tuck away right in the corner. just for the basic things, moving around, the cameras and the emojis. Or you can bring up the emojis and have them up, not taking up too much space, so you can use them in world. If you want, you can bring the whole lot out all together. It's kind of, we're working on it. It's a work in progress, but we're trying some slightly different UI things. On the final version, there's also going to be a full keyboard that pops out the side here, so that you can obviously program in BASIC if you're on the mobile, or just use your normal keyboard if you're on the PC. And with that, the PC version is going to be getting a new control mode, so you can control your Auton with a controller or mouse and keyboard, so you don't have to just keep clicking, so you can have direct control, which will be very useful for some of the kind of the battle modes we want. I mean, it's been said a few times in Discord this week, the idea of the kind of the Fall Guys approach. I think that's definitely going to be a thing. It's always something we wanted, which is organic games just appearing on the concourse. So, you know, oh, look, there's 10 people hanging out. Right, let's click an instance and you know, start an obstacle run or a free-for-all battle royale or something. It's like those organic instances is what we want. So rather than clicking and coming out to another game, we want them basically to happen in world. But with that, I'll come on to the next thing. Oh, sorry, one more thing. The mobile versions will also receive the update so that they can have controller Bluetooth controls if you're using an Android TV, and they'll also have an on-screen mini stick if you're using your phone. The other thing is, you might notice here one of these beautiful arcade machines as built by Nostalgia Geek. Now, you can't quite see it so well. Is this camera going to work on this one? It's not quite close enough. Let's make it bigger, the resolution. There we go. Is that any better? Might not be. We'll work with it. Basically, on that screen at the moment is showing a kind of a screensaver of snow. Just like fizzing snow. Now, that's not an animation. That is a fully emulated virtual games console from the 1970s known as a Chip 8. Now, that might not mean anything to anyone. To be honest with you, out of all the consoles I've played in my life, I've never really considered what a Chip 8 was till I was researching simple consoles to try and write emulators for. And the other night, I couldn't sleep, so I had to write an emulator. So this runs any ROMs that anyone can write for a Chip 8 console. Rob, can you post in the IDE into the chat? Yeah. Yep. So basically, if anyone wants to write any games that you can run on Nostalgia Geek's arcade machines inside Turis, if you write a game, we'll mint that cartridge for you with that game on it and send you the NFT for it, so you can then have that and go, you know, plug it into the game consoles. The arcade machines, and also game consoles, which we will be building to put in there. Rob's posted a link. I'm afraid this link comes with very little support because it's assembly, and assembly is a nightmare. But if you want to cut your teeth on some programming, have a look. It's what we used to write in the 80s and early 90s with games. It's, in fairness, it's only got 35 instructions, and the documentation that this guy's written is really good. Anything you write on here, you can compile, and it'll run on this virtual console. So that means that inside Turis there is the arcade consoles, the Chip 8 arcade consoles, a virtual console. The PDA on the right-hand side, though not a virtual machine, will run basic programs as well. So that's two different programming languages you will be able to write inside Turis to customize your world. And we will be putting some extra functions in there. So, for example, on your PDA, you can write a small program that controls the lighting or controls the music around you or loads up some NFTs or changes the decoration. It's going to be our method of customization, but because we're assholes, we're going to make you customize it like it's the 1980s rather than using one of the modern programming languages.
You're going to learn.
Yeah, you got to learn. That's how we learn. You learn the basics and then everything's easy.
If you pop open that Octo link, turistation.io/Octo, if you just hit the run button and you can have a little look at the little what that set of code can do, and then just hack away at the code and see what it does.
Yeah, maybe we could jump on there in a moment and have a look at it. But so from the update point of view, if anyone does want to write a game on that and write a nice little console game in assembly, write one, messages. We will mint any game that is written into a cartridge for you, and you can let us know if you want to do it as a 1 of 1 or a 1 of 20 or a 1 of whatever. Because you've written the game, we'll do whatever it is you want and send you the cartridges, and you can distribute them however you want. Right, what's the other little bits on this update? Yes, so basically you can see this is the update that will also come to Android, so we have taken down the decorations. I will just pop in here because there's one thing I wanted to bring attention to. You may notice that there's a couple of posters knocking around in the world. Now, they're not just filler, these are artwork from the universe that's been created by the Reverend there. And all of these will actually be part of the functionality, which is basically art inside Turis, because we love collections, we love collectibles. I think everyone's got wallets full of collectible stuff. We want to be able to show and display art and at the same time be able to say, oh, look, hey, that's pretty cool. Can I go and get that? And then link out to directly where you can get that from, either as a digital asset or as a physical asset. We have a lot of physical assets that we enjoy making. And for us, this whole digital arena is just as much about using it to give people access to physical assets as well as the kind of the digital world. But I think VRLs are really cool. I do like them. I just wish there were more of them.
I've got one here.
What's that? Oh yeah, you've got one there. Hang on, let's make you big, Rob. Hang on, where's the button? Boom. Yes. So some of you, if you know what the cartridges look like, in fact,
if I just turn that around slowly like that.
Yeah. So that is the.
Oh, now I see it.
That's a 3D print, a resin 3D print of the cartridge 3D model that is actually used to create all of our assets. All of our assets, although we obviously stylize them quite heavily, they are all modeled in 3D by Mr. Roppo down there, and so we've got them as they're like, naturally we need physical assets for them as well. So some of the cartridges will be printed up with the same colors, stickers as the digital ones, and there will be some coming out as VIRLs. We're mainly at the moment working out the best way to paint and sticker them that isn't going to break our heads on top of everything else, because as we've said before, we're only a little team.
We want to do everything.
To be honest, we like doing everything. And it's like people say, get a load more people, and it's like, well, yeah, but then we don't get to do it, you know. So some things, yes, we might ask some other people to do, and we do. And if anyone wants people to do, if people want to do stuff, we welcome it. But we love doing this stuff. Like, it may sound counterproductive, but we love coding. We love doing the music. We love doing the graphics. We love doing the video. Like Reverend and Lloyd Baxter, who aren't on with us today, they've produced hours of content. And if anyone's listened to the radio, I think about halfway through, there's a 20-minute radio play of the first comic of the series from the Assault on Tirakal. And you can just listen to it. It's there. It's an audio book. It's in the middle of the broadcast. We love making this stuff, and that's the thing that we want to do. We don't necessarily want Turis to exist. I mean, in fact, the worst thing would be if Turis existed and we didn't make it ourselves. Like,
yeah,
it would feel weird. We're artists first. I mean, even with coding, it's like there's something infinitely frustrating but joyous about making good code, as much as there is about making good audio. So that was a massive tangent. Where did that tangent start?
But
Prince,
I can
VRL.
I can add to your tangent a little tiny bit,
Go.
please. Because
Redirect.
there will come a time when we get into I hope we can call out for people who do more illustrative work, digital images and stuff like that, and add them to when we release chapters of the stories that we're making. So currently, like, I'm drawing and illustrating and writing the stories, but I am going to come to a point where I would love if anybody wants to creatively contribute, they can be added, part of the whole chapter as their own little bits or just images or whatever. People who read comics know what I mean, because there used to be a lot of fan stuff at the back, or drawings, illustrations, cover art from other artists that were just tributes and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll definitely be looking for that stuff as far as contributing creative contributions,
Yeah, I think just to echo that, it's one of the things we always wanted to do a long time ago was just, I mean, we Reverend and myself, we trained as fine artists, and you kind of taught to be these solo guys who do nothing, and don't collaborate. It's all about solo work. It's all about ego. It's all about getting your name out there on top of everyone else's corpses. But we love working with people, and it's like one of the things we always said is collaboration is just the most fun thing, because you just better work comes of it when you're sharing ideas. And I think with you building that universe, it's been awesome. Like I've always wanted to write. Log in. Yep. I've always wanted to write work, but I didn't really have anything to hang it off. Ben started writing the comics, and it finally gave me the confidence to say, right, I'm going to write some stuff, and I wrote some stuff in his universe, and it was awesome. This is kind of the origins of how that then started morphing into Turis. Updated client stuck at login. Okay, yeah, I'll come and look at that in a second. So yes, collaborations, game cartridges, VIOLs, and the updates. The teletext thing I was talking about, these little terminals here are the kind of the in-world data terminals, and they are going to be the thing that you walk up to anywhere and you can access kind of like the station network, and that's going to be a lot of stuff locally. So if you're in, for example, this bar, which is Nostalgia Geeks bar, and you want to manage... If I put a, what's... Oh, there's a
update.
Bug! There's obviously a collider there. What's going on? Oh, I wonder if that's that blooming blender thing. I'll check that in a bit. Yeah, so that's a Nostalgia Geeks bar, and basically that is a that's going to have permissions on it, so he can go in and edit the sound, the decor, the rugs. There's actually one of his rugs on the floor there at the moment, but I believe there's a lot more coming. And part of that is going to have to be through an access system, which is going to be these terminals, which is the kind of the teletext thing we were talking about. That's going to be like the in-station network. So that's pretty cool. Let's have a look. If you have time, right? Okay. So if you have time, show how the login works and starts the game. All right, then give me a second. I shall have to remove this out of there, and let's just try this again. Blah 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 blah.
It's once again the joy of trying to log into Wax Wallets and
the
million ways you can break it.
So, okay, I'm going to take this moment to have a little mini rant, because
we have future plans for this.
Right, okay. This is my rant. I don't really. I'm sorry if you're a project owner and you get a little bit hurt by this, and I'm sorry if you're a user and you're like, no, I'm going to be here forever. But the reality is right now blockchain is a prototype niche development thing. It's got a lot of money passing through it, and that has made it look bigger than it is. But at the end of the day, people are not going to be logging into these games through the wallets. They're going to be logging in through whatever platform they're on, through Google, through Apple, through Steam. You're going to log in on Steam with your Steam ID, and you're going to log into the game. And a mainstream end user isn't going to give a shit what chain they're on. They don't load up FIFA and say, what database is this? They log on. You know, you at the most, say you're at a shop, at the most you might have to consider if they take Visa or MasterCard. But you don't care about how it works, and you sure as hell don't have to go through some convoluted process. Now, the thing with the blockchain is that it gives you the opportunities to have digital assets linked to your digital identity. And that is fundamentally the most exciting thing about it, because it opens up the idea of digital sovereign identity. The fact that the blockchain has been completely kind of taken over by just this idea of tokenomics, just cryptocurrency, has distorted what it can be. And I think this is probably one of the big problems that games has had trying to get off the ground, because every game has ended up being an extension of playing the crypto market, which, as much of a game as that can be, and as much enjoyment as people can get out of it, that's still only one aspect of what Web3 tech is. Web3 tech is about finding standards, about finding transferable assets, about being able to log into Minecraft and taking your Elytra and then logging into Red Dead and putting it on your Red Dead Online character and flying off. You know, that's ultimately what the Web3 Metaverse stuff is meant to be about, as much as Metaverse is a terrible name. So, in the future, when you log in here, we are going to keep, for legacy reasons, we will be keeping wallet logins for people who want to use wallet logins. But for example, on Steam, they absolutely will not allow wallet logins. They don't allow that side of it. There's many ways for us to facilitate it, and one of the things is we are going to be using native Steam logins and then using our backend server to manage the crypto aspect of it. So a mainstream player can come on play the game, never know they're on crypto, but still trade their assets between people and games. And at some point, they may become more educated, and they can then say, "Oh, can I have my private keys, please?" And we'll be like, "Yeah, sure. Click that button, get your private keys, stick them in a wallet app, open your wallet, have access." That is more likely how this is going to play out long term. So everyone who's legacy in the crypto space and wants to continue doing things the way we do it can log in and use it. Mainstream users just ain't going to care what wallet they got. They ain't going to care what chain they're on. They're just going to want to play some good games with some good assets, and they're going to want to be able to start transferring them around because that's the cool thing to do. So that's my little mini rant over, because that leads nicely into goddamn Waxcloud wallet and its lack of decent tools. So I'm going to share the screen. Doobie-doo. There we go. Okay, hopefully everyone can see that, and I do apologise if it suddenly blasts out with some sound, because it probably will. Right, so this is for you, Nostalgia Geek. Tell me, do you want Waxcloud Wallet or Anchor login to see how it should look?
Guessed.
I'm going to wait for a response with the mad lag that there is. I don't know quite how much it is.
Wax.
Oh, I see. Wax. Okay, right. So I click the button, it goes away, and then I should get this box up. Obviously, if I hadn't logged in before, it would have asked me for my login details. But because I've already logged in and I told it to save it, it's automatically logged in, like Waxcloud Wallet does. So that was the Waxcloud Wallet one. And I shall just close that for a moment and open it up again. Okay, and then for the Anchor wallet, should we figure? Oh yeah, that's what exactly not appears after you click me. Do you get anything? Do you get anything up here? Can you just absolutely check it? Definitely got the latest update on the itch.io, because I've tried this on a few machines now, and it was broken earlier, just before we came on stream. And when I pushed the fix up, and once it had updated, it definitely was definitely working on all the machines I tried it on. So just double check that itch.io is updated. For the Anchor wallet one, it basically brings you up with the Anchor wallet login link, the QR link. So if you've got Anchor logged in locally, you'll be able to launch Anchor. If you've got, obviously I'm using my mobile here, and if you just scan the old barcode like that and log in, there you go, and that's followed the link through.
Nostalgia
that's
Geek,
right.
just chuck us a screenshot in the bugs thing on the Discord if you're stuck with it.
I was just realised I was just about to text something to ask if someone was watching, and then I realised I could actually just ask it on here and then wait for a message to come back. I get the impression. Are you watching a lurking stream somewhere, Richard? If so, download it on your phone and come and say hello. It's going to be together. Yeah, no worries, Bruno. I think that's generally the update stuff anyway. It's a bit of a UI update, Wax Mold update, PC client update, and we're just going to carry on tinkering at all the things we've broken this week. Right, I'm going to pop down to the concourse. So, what was the next thing I was going to say? Is that the updates done? Yes, so that was the mini rant done. That was the fix done. Pioneer pins. Pioneer pin skins, they are ready to be deployed. We are still trying to work on the stupid skin system, which keeps breaking because we basically got a little bit too ambitious with it. It's having to have a little bit of a rewrite ready for working on network. Everything's easy until you click the please make it multiplayer, and considering we want multiplayer working seamlessly all the damn time, we have to make sure it works on all those cases. So it's coming it's coming soon. It's not going to be arriving quite as slowly as the dragons did in Game of Thrones, but it is coming soon.
I think you might mute your radio on the...
Oh god,
please.
I've done it again.
Thanks, Charles.
Sorry, you could have told me minutes ago.
I was just about to tell you, but then Rob did it
God
first.
damn it.
No, it's okay. I like the chaotic mix for a little bit.
Yeah. No one knew.
Yeah, it's good.
Cyber pets. Have we thought about cyber pets?
Yes.
You have an amaze ball, I think.
Right. Okay. So. Where are my maze balls?
I get my droney. Have I got a droney? I don't even know what I've got on my own game.
So
Hey, I've got
many.
droney.
Oh,
There we go.
Behold my amaze ball. Okay,
Got my
so
droney.
let's just definitively say what the amaze balls are, and not from a lore point of view, because you've talked about that at length, and if I start talking about it, I will spoil a lot of stuff. But
yes.
in the game, does it eat ball tokens? In the game, the amaze balls are basically your companion, and they allow you access to certain things because of what they are. So you can see that there's some amaze balls, and there is currently the droney. Droney will give you access to a tech lab, and the amaze ball will give you access to the wizard temple. Now you may notice that does kind of lean into a couple of different type of archetypes, which you often find in RPG games. That is not a mistake, because you are shaping your Auton into being a particular type of character. So if you were to equip your amaze ball and spend more time at the wizard temple, your character Auton will become more attached to those places. They will have memories about them. And the same goes for the droney. Now, I don't know, has any of you played Phantasy Star Online? It's an old SNES game. Well, Phantasy Star. It's an old SNES game, but then there's also Phantasy Star Online on the Dreamcast.
Dreamcast, yeah.
So in there, you have like a little companion, and you level it up, you feed it, it helps you, it's your friend, does stuff, some heals, some attacks, etc., etc. It's a similar sort of thing. These in the Turis, as well as being access to areas, the amaze balls and the dronies and some other stuff that are yet to be released, they're basically like floaty Tamagotchis. So they will be effectively your cyber pets. There is some other stuff. I mean, we'd love it if we found the fix, need to go install and open the game without me. Oh, what? Really? That's a bit weird.
Must be weird permissions thing.
Maybe because it didn't work the first time, it buggered up the cache for the Wax Cloud wallet.
It might have limited network access as well, which would have buggered the wallet.
It shouldn't need any admin access, because it's all, we're very, 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 very careful to make sure everything's just client level, for the obvious reasons. But I think that's probably a cache issue, that. So I'll double check that. Thanks, Mr. Dodgy. Yeah. So these are basically going to be like your little cyber pets, and I would love it if we could add to this. For example, bringing Grubfish in from Crittercraft, having Grubfish as your cyber pet. In the very first prototype Rob and I put together, it did have a Grubfish in a fish tank. Currently, the Grubfish,
yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Currently, the Grubfish appear if you select the Crittercraft collection while you're in your bedroom. The Grubfish all appear and start spawning out depending on how many Grubfish you own, as a bit of an infestation, which is a precursor to a little event, kind of a mini event, which is smash the Grubfish. So if you do have Grubfish, and if they do infest, then smash them. And we will be adding leaderboards onto that. That's something that's kind of one of the mini things we're adding over the next month. But there's a few mini games, and we're going to put up a vote for which one we're going to add first, because there's a few we don't know which one to pick, and they're all fun, so we don't really care which one we do first. So we'll put a little bit of a vote up, and we'll jam it out and get that on there. Where am I up to? Yes. I just want to say, screw WebGL.
Yes.
I'm sorry if anyone likes
trying.
playing it on the browser, but honestly, WebGL can just go fuck itself. It's leaky. It's limited on its threads. It's limited on its memory. Everything we do on WebGL will have a limit that we do not want to have, that a native app on any platform will far exceed. So, sadly, WebGL is gone.
Someone can try and run it on a 15-year-old laptop on an old version of Chrome and have implode and then complain about it.
Yeah, the Turis client generally is pretty lightweight, so it should work on a lot of low-end machines. We do try it on like the worst machines we have. We've got kind of old just really old business laptops with no 3D, and it does seem to work all right. There is going to be native macOS and Linux versions. However, the macOS one, to be honest with you, given that everything's M1 now and the iOS apps work on that, the iOS app that's on the store currently will work on your M1 laptop natively as in an app kind of app mode. But there is going to be a Linux version for anyone who wants to sideload it onto the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck does seem to run it really nicely, which personally is why the controller functionality needs to come quicker, because I use my Steam Deck a lot now. Hey, Salji got in. Nice. We welcome some feedback on not the exact graphics of it, because I broke it, and because I assembled Rob's graphics for the console in a haphazard fashion. But the general idea of it being a little bit more compact, I think, is going to play out, and having the nice little keyboard for doing the basic program should be fun. So, yes. Where are we? Somehow we're nearly an hour in. That's insane. Well, hey, there's a whole lot of us. I'll tell you what. Right, I haven't got the dev thing open today, because everyone can stand near me. I'm going to take a little picture. Who's wearing a Christmas hat? Who's standing behind people? Everyone make space. Make space. Make space so I can take a picture.
Say cheese.
Don't crowd up. Don't crowd up.
We need a cheese icon. Best we've got is soup.
Yeah, okay, hang on. All right, let's get some. Need some more hats. We got some more hats. What hats do you want out next? What hats would you like next?
Oh, we got a whole load, haven't we?
Oh,
we haven't done the beer drinking one yet, have we?
Got beer hat,
the can one.
Got the newspaper.
Oh, yes.
Hey, we've got a whole selection of
We have a lot of cowboy hats. Yeah,
we do have a lot of cowboy hats. We've also got a selection of berets. We have a crystal beret.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Yeah, that's cool. It's got like a jewel at the front of it.
Actually, do you know what? Why don't I'm just going to get one of the files and look at it. Where's the file? You've asked about hats now. Rax is going to be missing out with his desire for triple, quadruple hat chats. Hi, Kitty. How you doing? Thanks for popping over. We're trying to learn how to do this streaming nonsense. So
if all of you don't leave by the end of it, we'll know we're doing all right.
If we suck,
yeah, just go away.
Last
people
week,
do stay to watch disasters.
They do. We shall deliver.
We figured out most of the buttons.
Best stream ever.
I need to sort out some of the fancy stuff where people come in and graphics and sounds and stuff. So if you see stuff pop up, Ben, you make some noises.
Yeah.
Yeah! Thank you. Right, I need to look at this window for a second, because I'm looking for these bloody hats. Where the hell are they? I've got to find them now.
I've got them if you want them.
Oh, I'm nearly there. I'm nearly there.
Yeah, go on, you find them.
Right, freaking thing. That one. That one. Hats.
Oh, someone's got
one or hats
fancy
two.
glasses on.
There we go. That'll do. That one will work. Okay.
Let me. Charles's fancy glasses. Yeah, it is.
Pull that. Let's switch that. That one. That one. That one. Okay.
Drum roll.
Haha. Hats. There we go. Right. These are some unreleased hats. There is another file of hats which I'm not showing because they're too spoilery. Not easy to take a screenshot without moving.
Oh yeah.
Oh, in game. Yes, good point.
There is discussions of camera buttons and things like that.
I've got the code in there, just not implemented it. I kind of went down a rabbit hole. Thought screenshot, nice and simple, done. And then I was like, oh no, actually, I want to take a screenshot and stylize it and make like a little kind of futuristic Polaroid looking thing,
like doing all the new games where you can
instant
do your
cameras,
has like the type
and all that shit. Yeah.
The title of which bit of the world you're in, little logos, your wallet name. So
most over-processed image possible.
Yeah.
Yes. So please, well done.
So Bodo, there will be a screenshot. It's just because we don't want it to be shit, we're going to try and make it fancy. So, and also,
Yeah,
you know,
so
we got so much time and resource. We're just
we'll
going to
sink a week into that rabbit hole. no
yeah,
problem.
yeah. But anyway, so these are some of the new hats. So you can see there's a beer one that's not come out. There's some nice fairs. For some reason, 4 sets of berets. Can't quite remember why I pitched to Rob so hard that we needed berets and flat caps.
It was the mood.
But they look great. I mean, they look awesome.
I want the Tommy Fez. What's his name? Tommy
Hill.
No. Oh, famous comedian from the
Tommy
70s.
Cooper.
Tommy Cooper. Yeah. Tommy Cooper Fez.
Yeah. And yeah, you can see there's various plastic bags and newspapers. Some nice bowler hats. Some work hats. Some good old 80s headbands.
Yeah, for exercising. Oh, there's the pirate hat and the bear hat.
Yeah. Oh look, there's a little color spinny hat on there. Definitely not Assassin's Creed hood there.
Yeah.
TM.
Yeah.
Trademark.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
not.
So hats, work bear hat, propeller hat. Yeah. So we'll keep on making some hats, and also Nostalgia Geek. I think we might need to have a little chat because we definitely want to start doing some more handheld stuffs, and we thought we'd give you a shout, being your love of the retro console stuff. Mm-hmm. We thought some nice handhelds for the Autons and some games consoles is kind of on the list in the next few months. Yeah. So should I do the quick tutorial thing just so we can get it in and record it, and then I can cut it out for another day?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, right. I'm going to shut that down and do the thing. So apologise to everyone that I'm just going to basically do a boring ass, this is how you click a button thing, because I keep getting asked and I keep forgetting to write a manual for it.
That's what I used to do in the streams of the drawing streams, As I'd just stop in the middle and be like, I'm going to do a quick tutorial. Cut it out later, and if you're here, guess what? You get it. You get it now. But I don't want to learn about shading. Too bad.
Yeah. Tough.
So, if Rob and Rev, if I miss anything, just shout in. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go in with my Waxcloud wallet because that's what I use in this case, and I shall hit the button. Wait a second. It pops up. If you haven't previously logged in, it'll ask you to log in like it would do normally. If you've already logged in once, radio. If you've already logged in once, it should, and you've told it to remember, it'll remember it so you can log in. If you have logged in and you do not have a Pioneer pin, which is likely because there's only 32 of them, you will be presented with this corridor, and this top bedroom will be open. This is your Autons room. And in your Auton room, you have a few things you can do. You can summon food for the tired Auton. Oh, I've got no food on this account. God damn it.
Should I come over for some food? I'll come over.
So you can summon food. You can load up your NFTs in the giant NFT holo machine. And basically, just kick about. It's always online, so if there's other people online, they can come in and say hello too. If you want a friend to come in and they do not have a Wax wallet, then just pop on and click guest. They can log straight in. And I probably should have added that you can get this on itch.io, Android and iOS. So in the room, you've got your NFTs at the top. If you have other NFTs from other collections, you will find them all here. Some collections work, some crash the game. We are working through putting together a profiler as to what the NFTs are. So some, if it knows it's music, it plays it on the music. If it knows it's a video, it plays the video. If it's just a static image, it comes up as a nice static image. You're also on network, so any NFT that you load onto the holo shows up for everyone else. So if everyone comes to your room and you stick some music on, everyone hears it. It's like it's a public jukebox, it's a public computer, holocron, TV, whatever you want to call it. Although there is actually a TV right next to it. Can I click a vending machine? Good question. I completely forgot that. So let's pop out the room into the corridor. And let's pop here. Oh, look, there's a vending machine. Vending machines are going to be all over Turis. They're a bit limited at the minute in that they're basically links. But in this case, here you can see the vending machine for the NFT Gamer TV vending machine, which appears to have a bug. Good God, there's so many bugs tonight. This is
Christmas
what happens.
bugs.
This is what happens. Well, it's Friday the 13th.
Oh, it is
And
Friday 13th. Yes, that's why.
I know, and Alan literally messaged me middle of the day, and he goes, "I hope you're not doing any changes. They will shit on you if you try them today." And I was like, "Don't worry, Alan. I'm changing 3 or 4 major components of the game and recompiling for 3 platforms and getting them out before tea time."
Yes,
He's like, "You
because...
idiot." I was like, "Well, yeah, okay." And that one, oh, the can machine's working. Okay, so the can machine vending machine's working. So if you don't have any soda, you can just go to the can machine and get it, and your guy gets a little boost. Being this is actually meant to be a tutorial, so I'm just going to try and stay on topic for a second. Oh, my guy's gone into the lift because I clicked it. Okay, so if you want to go to the concourse, click the lift, and he goes to the concourse. This is like the best tutorial ever.
This is the best stream ever. I love these streams.
So, what I will do is now shift the focus to the personal terminal on the right-hand side.
On your right side?
You have no right, the left, the right side. It's the right side. You trolling me? It's the right-hand side.
Yes,
He is.
So there are 6 buttons on it. The first button turns the console on and off. That's your little personal computer. There will be all kinds of functionality that as time goes by. The second button changes the camera from isometric mode into side mode, which was mostly built for the football and for a couple of people who quite like the side mode. It's kind of got a bit of it's kind of an old school feel to it, a bit like some old PlayStation 1 games. If you're in isometric mode, you also get to flip the camera around to have a look at any sneaky Easter eggs that we hide in places. The last button is the emojis. If you click the emoji button, you get your little emoji panel, and you can say hello to people and
tell them you want
request
coffee.
food. This one here, we maybe need to vote on what a better symbol is, but this is meant to be basically a symbol for the worst swear you can think of. So, anyone got a good symbol for a universal symbol for get fucked? You know,
Eggplant.
And you can have the computer off and the emojis up, or you can have it all out, or you can flip it down just into a super slim mode. Right, so let's have a look. Over here, as you come off the train and move to your left, there is the football pitch. I don't know who has control of the ball currently. Possibly no one, depending
It's me.
Can you reset the ball? Where is it? Oh, there it is. That's all right. We don't need to reset the ball. So this is the worst football game you'll ever see, which is so bad it seems to have frozen. Can you reset the ball, please, Rob?
I think I've killed it.
Yeah, you've killed it. Okay, so that's another bug.
Friday 13th bug.
Yeah, well,
It was working. Me and I think it was.
So that's the football pitch. Moving swiftly on of the
Yeah, you were
greatest
just
tutorial
playing.
ever. It did work before, yeah.
It's
Do you know what?
Physics fidelity again, probably. I shouldn't.
Yeah, it's the physics is a bit crazy, and getting it to log on, log off with what's going on is a bit crazy. Like handing over who owns the football. This is the club. It's a club. You can dance, have a little boogie. If other people go, everyone can have a little boogie.
I'm coming.
If you're over at the bar, you can request. I haven't got any food. Wrong account. If you're at the bar, you can request food, and the wizards will serve you food that you have.
You can eat ice lollies.
Yes, you've got ice lollies. Rob's got ice lollies. What I will do is I'll just mention that all of the cartridges in Turis, they're not consumable. Think of them as blueprints for a replicator, like in Star Trek. Start to get back and have a run of it. Yay! Yeah, there's not too much going on there at the moment, Kitty. It's just we're building it out. We do have the odd event in the club because we have live music on in there. We try and break the server. We've had about 100 people in before, but it got a bit weird. But you know, anyone
we're aiming for tens of thousands. So,
yeah. The server is always online, and if you log in, it's online. So we kind of want to encourage people at some point, you know, run an event in here when we're not looking. It's like just tell everyone to meet somewhere and run an event. We will be giving members of the community basically like passcodes or pass cards as NFTs, which will give them control of the audio stream, so you can switch out the radio station temporarily for a kind of an event if you want people. So like if you say everyone meet on the football pitch and set up a rave there or something, it's like little mini events. So yes, Club is there. Oh, hang on. Yes, sorry, I can see over there. Nostalgia Geek has these awesome arcade machines. These will also be running some of the emulators. Currently, they just have floaty amazeballs on them. I'd really like to figure out how we could implement like a version of Dance Dance Revolution, not Dance Dance Revolution, on Chip 8 or something, so that we can actually play it. I think it could work. In fact, Chip 8 would look amazing at it. Right? Yeah, we'll add that to the list. Someone download the IDE and make a ROM on Chip 8 for Dance Dance Revolution, which will be awesome considering you only have like one button, one sound you can make on it. Right, out further down the concourse, for anyone who's not been on this before, we have a couple of other little shops and things. There is a smoothie bar. This is not quite open yet. That is for the calf smoothies. Here we have what is going to be one of the stream studios. So we're actually going to add a mode. So once you move your Auton to a location, you click a button and it redoes the camera angles and gets rid of all the menus so that you can use it as a background for streaming. So it's like you're streaming from inside Turis, which obviously means that if you say you were inside this little room on the left and you were streaming and the camera was pointing out, then a bit like one of those morning TV shows, you could see everyone else who's online running around outside, and they could be in the background with cat ears on. And what else we got? Yeah, so down here we've got Nostalgia Geeks Club. We've got the Wizard Market. Oh, we've got the Encryptia. That's probably gonna. Yeah, that's got the same bug as the other vending machines. And the Nova Riley Garage and the Wizard Market. So this is only one part of the main concourse. These are actually probably going to be 2 or 3 times this on the final one. And also, you'll notice when we left the bedroom, we actually went down a lift. So the idea is there's going to be many floors of these. So this is just one of many. Currently down this end, there's a bit of a building site going on with cargo ships and I think cargo ships. Yeah, so you can see here.
Yeah, that might be something to do with planet hoppers. You never know.
Yeah, so there's a mini game inside called Planet Hoppers, which we've got partially prototyped out, which will be to do with all of these ships here. So this concourse will carry on, and we'll have more markets, shops, cafes. There's definitely going to be a massive art gallery in the finest of art gallery traditions of big ass white spaces and tons of what's it called? What's that word, Ben? All the wordy bits.
Sorry, I was paying little attention.
Kind of context, all that kind of
curated lovely things.
Contextual information. That was the best walk around. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, it will take much longer. Oh, there is actually something which I don't think I've actually mentioned to anyone, but you now can. Pop back here to the train station thing, which says next train. Click it, and it should send you back to the bedroom. So there is actually a way to get back.
Drum roll. Will it work?
Will it work?
I've done it like 5 times.
We're gonna watch this back on Monday morning just to check for bugs.
Yeah. Well. Hey, and I'm back. Good job.
Oh, you ain't got a pioneer pin. You got a crappy bedroom.
No, well, do you know what? I'm gonna. Oh, sorry. What? You just nearly derailed. You derailed this perfect tutorial. Right. Top right, full screen button and window kind of toggles between full screen and window. Left hand side, quit out the game, and it did actually work. Thank goodness for that.
What?
Look,
great
in my defense, Rob will back me up. But Rob will back me up for this. I was in the middle of writing these functions, and then we were on Discord, and I said, "Oh shit, I've got to pick my daughter up," and I had like a minute and a half to leg it to nursery to go and pick her up.
This is true.
So it's been one of those days.
Weeks.
Weeks to say weeks.
Yeah.
Weeks.
Yeah.
Weeks for me. Yeah.
Right. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I'm logging back in again. I'm logging back in because I want to have the extra bit so I can show the other room because there's the cool thing in the other room for the tutorial. Bloody phone. Okay.
Oh, football's working again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe I buggered it up. Right, there we go. Now I've logged in on my other account here because I have a Pioneer pin, so I'm going to put my Atomic Kings hat on. Turn the radio off.
Oh, I just kicked the ball into the club. Oh,
That's on. Put the
Hey,
glow
it's
stick on. Okay. So I've got some extra hats here. You can see that if you want to equip hats and glow sticks or any other items you've got, you can just click add, and they just add or take away, or you can change your hats. At the popular request of Rax, who has basically ruined my life with the skin generator, you will be able to layer up hats, glasses, and beards. There will not be 2 hats, I'm afraid. 2 hats, too many hats. But there will be glasses, beards, and hats able to layer over each other. So you can add those. You can switch it around. And now I actually have food. I'll be able to show the replicator. So this is the replicator in the.
Do you mean you want to
Pioneer
put that on
Suites.
the thing?
Which one?
You just done all that without showing it.
Oh no, I am. No, I'm showing it.
You are now.
What? Oh God, damn it!
That's busy
You
playing
got-
football
you got-
with Boko. I'm playing football with Boko.
You better be watching. You gotta keep me on point. Right, right. So
We only have so many jobs to do, Rob. You know.
NFTs.
I'm trying to program the blooming
I've got
drone
like 5 windows open. Right.
I'm just illustrating,
NFTs.
so I have no excuse.
NFTs at the top. Click your items to equip them and just de-equip them, and you can change them as much as you want, etc., etc. Okay, if you want to call up some food into the replicator, you click your item, it replicates it in, and he does like, yeah, I'm hungry, but he does only pick it up if they're hungry. Like they do have body and mind stats. They have an emotional state, and they're kind of the AI memory. So if they're not hungry and they don't care, they won't pick the food up. You can only really suggest it, and it's the same when you tell it to go somewhere. If you click to tell your Auton to go somewhere, you're telling it that's where you want it to go, but it only goes there if it wants to. Over here, you can see we do also have the TV. The TV will be a Netflix in-station Netflix style service where there will be different content available. Not Netflix, yeah.
And not Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, but we worked out approximately 250 days of content. I think it was. Hey, Neon. Hey. Yeah, there's a lot. There's about 250 days of content to go onto the TV network. So we will be Turflix. Yeah,
Turflix. Yeah.
That's a terrible name. I quite like it.
It's a good job we didn't call it Turdis, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so with the
Sorry.
That did that tickle your
Never
bed?
thought
Did
of that before. I never even thought of it before, Rob. It was well done.
Oh, that's come to an end. What's going on there? I just realised that came to. There we go. Put that back on. Yeah. So, is this still the tutorial bit? Did I finish?
I mean, I think editor 6-bit decides who when you finish.
Yeah.
when you go
Okay.
To post.
Hey, look! I just noticed that there's a Chris Berry in the bath there.
Oh, yeah. Have you watched that skit? That is one of my favorite skits. I think it's so funny. Anyway, Lillian.
Is that the
Literally on the toilet.
No, he's hanging out. He's hanging out of a
He's
bath.
in the shower.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Ben, but he
Guys.
can't get into his trousers, and he needs the unicorn lube.
Yes, unicorn lube is used to put on when your trousers are too tight. So he's lubing up to get dressed. But the joke is Chris is talking to Lloyd at the same time. And I mean, that's the fun of it all, but you gotta check it out. Yeah.
So anyone who missed it earlier on, because I think we talked about it really first thing, these arcade machines were designed by Nostalgia Geek, and they do run a full game emulator on them for a virtual console from the 1970s called a Chip 8. If anyone wants to write any games for these arcade machines, Rob will repost the link for the editor, and if you write a game for it, send it us. We'll mint it out as to however many assets you want, and we'll send them over to you. They're yours. You do what you want. You can have one. You can have 20, 30, 40, distribute them to your community, whoever you want. But if you write a game, we'll mint it into a console NFT for you. which I'm quite excited to see. But honestly, knowing that it's written in assembly, I'm going to be surprised if any come in.
It'd be a good moment to do a quick show of the Octo.
Oh right,
Yeah, because you were going to do that, right? Yeah. Good call. Rob.
Oh, are you showing it, Rob?
I can't do.
That's what I thought. Rob, I thought.
Oh, I'm in C# at the moment. Let me just switch to assembly.
Do you want me to do it?
I don't mind. Probably more productive if you do it.
Right, hang on. Let's have a look. Take that one and that one.
I love this part of the song.
All the music you can hear has been created by us and also Chris Berry, who is not currently with us.
Except for the ones
he's
he doesn't like.
He's alive.
He's with us. He's not dead. He's alive.
He's not dead.
He's just busy.
He's in his bathroom again.
It's just, yeah, but all of this music is either available on YouTube, Bandcamp. I think this is on Spotify as well, isn't it, Ben?
It's on all streaming, Apple, everywhere.
I'll post some links for it. All right.
Okay, here we go. This is the exciting bit of the stream where I show you assembly because I'm an asshole. Anyone who wants to write a game, you can pop here. This is the complete editor for it. It runs on the website. There's a manual up here which tells you everything about it. I'm not going to go through it now because it's very dry. But also, it's not too difficult as well. It's like there's only 35 instructions. And just as an example, here is a little program which I will quickly run. And it's a little dude running around. Hey! That's simple. And in a kind of speed round of how this works, because I don't want to go too far into this because this is just, it's coding. This is a location where you store where the position is for the character. This sets the position randomly when the game starts. This gets the sprites for the character from down here. It then loops around, and all it does is check what key is being pressed, changes the position depending on what key is being pressed, draws the character. And then that's literally it. This is just some stuff which makes it run, I'm going to say smoothly in inverted commas because, I mean, it looks like this, so it's hardly a 144 hertz FPS.
About 144 blocks hertz.
Yeah. But there's lots of little example programs on here, like there's nice little graphical ones, and you can do little. It's good for doing kind of graphical stuff. Rather than a game, you can do
some nice demos, isn't there?
Yeah, demo. If anyone's ever familiar with the demo scene from the 90s and 2000s, it's really nice for doing that.
It's like 20 years before that.
Yeah. But yes, you can get it on their GitHub page. We've also uploaded it onto the Turis Station. Rob's posted the link. If you make a game, we'll mint it and it's yours, and then you can use it. I'm going to remove that off there. I'm going to add you in, Ben. I'm going to add your thing in. What are you doing? Wizards.
We're getting close, yeah.
That is very relevant because there is currently a song on about the wizards, which is about these wizards. True. There's many levels of media in this universe. But I think
this is getting pretty close to complete, and then finally to the second page.
No spoilers though. Wizards Farm. Farm's coming. I mean, there's Turis Station, which is a big space station floating around the Giga Curse singularity that contains all of time and space. But there is also another thing floating around the Giga Curse singularity, which is a maze town. And we haven't even dipped into a maze town. And let's just say there is going to be an maze town coming in this universe that you can visit at some point. But it's going to be a long way off. And hopefully, because it's a long way off, it means that we'll have such an awesome game engine by then that bit is going to be amazing. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
But yes,
I think you get familiar with the lore and stuff by then too. If you're on board now, and by the time you get to a maze town, you'll know all the crazy stuff that we're trying to project. And
we need a bus driver from the maze town that comes and does trips from the station.
There's the wizard barges.
Yeah, but it needs to be a character that's like a bus driver, like a.
You mean
that's like.
I'm gonna pull up a. Yeah, I think he's talking about the. Yeah, we got one, and I'll see if I have it here. Yeah, it's the wizard barge.
The wizard barge.
Yeah, I believe. If I just go like that, there we go.
Yeah.
So that's and that's a pencil drawing. That hasn't even been touched yet. But I was super happy with this. I really wanted
nice.
that sort of, like it's got to the wizards. It's fun because they're alien tech, which meets alien tech, and I think Charles and I discussed in detail, like crystals and woods and leaves and sort of that sort of advanced tech, and then you have the Turis Station tech, which is a different kind of aesthetic and look and everything. So yeah, I definitely wanted to be organic tech, if that's a word. Aesthetic look. Yeah.
I'd like to just say there is you'll notice that we keep pulling out images or sound or audio, and it's really funny. When the amazeballs were released right at the start, because we were just finding our way in the kind of the wax space. Everyone was demanding, what do the amazeballs do? What's the utility? When profit? And it's
right.
easy for us. It's easy for us to say, well, everything has use when we finish the game, or everything has reasons or story, and you hear it so often, and it's not true. But it's really frustrating because every single thing we put into the game, even an insignificant thing, has come from one of the stories, one of the comics, one of the drawings, one of the sounds, like a piece of a thing that we've created. And anything that we've created is usually come with large design discussions, story lore discussions, real world events that have spawned them. So when we say, the wizard barge is coming, that wizard barge is just dripping in lore, which can be explored through Turis, or through comics, or through sound, or through prints, merch, everything. It's like we have so much we want to put as part of this, and that's kind of why we're really realistic about it. We're not doing this quickly. This isn't going to be out by the end of this year. We're going to be building this for years, and hopefully it's never going to be finished because we just want to keep working on it. It's the culmination of all of our kind of collective art practices that we've been doing for decades, and we're just going to keep building it. And if we're aiming for Steam and Android and iOS as a kind of clean release where a non-crypto user can log on through their existing ID, Apple ID, Google, Steam, and then use the existing systems to acquire assets and use them in game. Lots of companies are using digital assets as part of their portfolio for new games, but they're not out yet. Then they're treating them like digital assets and basically DLC that you can swap with people. It's really simple to manage from the kind of the old style, but it's just using the tech that the Web3 stuff has. It's very exciting from that point of view. But we're going to keep on, as we build, we're kind of building the main story elements, the main game elements, which is the stuff we want to do. So like the Autons AI, the point-and-click adventures, the mini games. And then separate to that, we're obviously, what we've become very aware of is that, the most fun we can have is doing stuff for the community. So we have skewed kind of a percentage over now to, well, no, we want to build community stuff. We want to build instances, streaming stuff, games, events. That's definitely the needle on that bit has gone up a bit because it's just fun, basically. So that's every few months now we're going to have little incremental updates of everything. And then just to come back to a question which I did see pop up earlier on, when Wizard Farm? Farming is coming. It will be prototyped inside the game in the bedrooms in the form of your pot plants. So we'll be using the mushrooms as the first kind of seed for that. So you'll basically be growing mushrooms in your rooms. That will be what we use to dev out and prototype the farming aspects of it. Once the general kind of mechanics of it work, we will then open the space allotments in one of the biodomes, and you can take the train there and I don't know why it popped into my head, but yesterday I was chuckling because all I could see was like a kind of competitive gardening PvP.
I like Bedroom in Bloom.
Kind of, yeah. Well, like and at the moment the Autons can only hold one thing in the hand, and I really like that because it limits what you can do. So if you want to get a true speed run, you need other people with you with different tools. But I mean, we haven't even
Competitive gardening sounds like the most middle-aged game concept I think I've ever heard.
How old are we?
I know, right? I know. I was thinking, I was like, jeez, what the hell am I like? I don't know why.
Where am I going?
It's like Fall Guys, but Fall Guys, but yeah, competitive gardening. Do you know what? Now I say it out loud, it sounds so fucking stupid.
It sounds better. It sounds more fun than it should be. Let me put it that way.
I like it.
Will mushrooms will also be food? Yes, mushrooms will be food. I mean, just as an idea, that before I said one-on-one gardening, yeah, I'm gonna plant those crops so fucking hard.
Train.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing? I'm making a fucking topiary. What are you doing?
Oh my god. That's
But I
too
mean,
good.
but it's like we can say this, but we also hold our hands up and say, like, that is not built yet. Like, we are literally going to prototype the pot plants in the bedroom, and then we'll expand out. That's what we do. We do a tiny bit of it. We do an iteration of a tiny idea, and we test it in game, and then if it works, we expand it.
So we often like the little experiences and things you see in Turis is actually a bucket load of potential behind each one already programmed and put in, and these are just like concepts tested. So it's expanding them out. It's going to be really good fun.
Yeah. I can't get the competitive gardening. I just played too much Stardew Valley. That's probably what it is.
Competitive gardening.
Oh, that was it. I was going to answer your question. Yes, food. So I said before that the cartridges in Turis are blueprints. So you don't, when you use them, you don't consume them. You're basically sticking them in a machine and then materializing that object. So obviously that has a resource cost, and in Turis that resource is nanites. Now, this is where, in what this space has been doing so far, we'd automatically say, well, nanites should be a token, and etc, etc, etc. Well, nanites are an in-game resource. They're not a token. They're like, we are using the NFTs and the assets themselves as the thing that you own, that you trade around. In game, we can balance the economy by having all of our in-game resources in game, and those resources either create or destroy the assets. One of the main assets we have is the wizard token, which is an NFT, a single coin, which is similar to the kind of the whole John Wick gold coin thing. It's, you trade it in for what you need. So if you need to upgrade something, use a wizard token. If you need to buy something, use a wizard token. It's not really a currency as such. It's more like a token for exchange. So in game there will be these nanites. So for example, your Auton can go and either earn nanites by having a job, or can collect nanites by doing missions, or win nanites in mini games. And those nanites are the resource that will be used for example, materializing food in the replicator. Currently, you can just replicate whatever you want for free. It doesn't cost any resources. As more and more of the game comes online, your Auton will have a resource of nanites which it has to use for its daily activities. And as I said before, that Auton will go off and work on its own when you're not online. The AI will become part of the simulation. So if you don't want your Auton to spend its resources, you'll have to set some limits on it. But if you don't set those limits, that Auton will 100% go off and spend its resources on whatever it wants. And you might come back and find it's bought some new stuff that you didn't expect, or it quite likes a fancy hat that you don't like.
Spent its whole week drinking in the bar.
Yeah, it could have just pissed it up in the bar. It could have spent the entire time gambling on football. The idea is that when you're not playing, your Auton goes off and plays for you. So using that old rule of, you can dip into the game for a couple of minutes when you're taking a shit. You pop in, give your Autons some stuff, and then you disappear off and let it play. And when you come back, you find out it's got a new story, it's got some new items, it's made some new friends. So somehow that was the answer to will mushrooms
Farming.
be food? Mushrooms,
Mushrooms
Wizard
are food,
Farm.
yeah.
Yeah. So yes, mushrooms will be food, but obviously mushrooms can be other things as well. And that's from what I can tell, is one of the reasons we got banned in Korea when I was doing the age rating questionnaire. Who has the fattest mushroom? Yeah, I love a bit of procedural generation stuff, and I think the farming is going to be where I'm going to sink some procedural generation time with hybrids and plants and kind of programmatically combining stuff. That's that thing where people like grow pumpkins that are like half a ton. I think is so stupid, but I love it.
That's my childhood.
Yeah. What time we got? I think. Should we? It's been nearly an hour and a half. We probably need to wrap it up. Any last questions for the remaining stalwarts who are here? I'm going to press some more buttons on here because I think. Yes, I can. I found the button. Right. Is that it? Should we call it a day? Anything else? Thank you everyone for saying hello and for poking the tourist stuff. The crypto winter doesn't suck too much. Oh,
will my Autons ever harass me like a replica AI? Yes, most definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, it will.
Not a guarantee, but
you'll notice on the Discord server, which actually is currently he's talking in all the wrong places, but we have the station controller. And the idea of the station controller is the station controller is a conduit between Turis Station and Discord, and will be acting as almost like a postmaster, so that you can send a message to the station controller and say, "Hey, how's my Auton getting on?" So rather than logging in, you'll just be like, "Give me an update," and you'll get a message back on Discord to say how your Auton's doing. So yeah, basically a bit like the Auton will harass you like replica AI, I'm afraid, if you want it to. And at the moment they are just little dudes. They're just robot dudes with heads on, but they're not. That's not what they are. They are human, and they will be unmasked at some point. And these Autons you see at the moment are like the common base level faceless Autons, but the second level will be procedurally generated Autons, and the third level will be Autons from the story. So quite looking forward to all of that. But yes, that's a possible tangent, and I really want to try and wrap it up before it gets to 1 hour 30, so it's a nice round number, like you kind of put petrol in the car.
Well, you did a fantastic job again, Charles. Thank you very much for updating me. I missed you guys this week. I was very busy, and now I feel caught up and prepared for the fall next week. Next Friday's stream, I gotta say, is when you're doing. Yeah. I'll see you again.
Yeah.
What should we do next week?
Oh bollocks! I was going to bring the grubfish in. I completely forgot to put the bloody grubfish on.
Next week
grubfish.
Next week,
there you go.
Next week, grubfish. Maybe a look at some mini games, bit of a vote for what mini game come first, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. Grubfish and mini games. That sounds good. Cool. Right. Thanks everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Where's my buttons? There's
Top
buttons.
right.
I found it.